Hello, awesome people. This is Edwards here, and welcome to this module on blogging, how it put me on the map and got me lots of high-value clients. It's developed and presented by myself, Edwards here, Marketing Mentor. Now, first things first, I want to say a massive hello from me. My name's Edwards here. You've probably watched some of my other videos already, or at least I hope you have. This is a photo of good old me in there of a man by the name of Suraj Sodha. Now, Suraj Sodha is one of the world's actually top blogging mentors, and he actually taught me how to blog some years ago, and I've been very lucky to use his insights and ideas. So I want to give a quick wrap to him. So in this video, or this webinar, I should say, I want to share with you some great ideas to help you become a top blogger and really take it forward. So my name's Edward. As you might already know me in the real world or not, I'm a marketing mentor, business commentator, blogging for networking leader. I'm an ex-marketing director once upon a time, and I love helping small businesses get more awesome, profitable clients today, and I really get into it. Having said that, I've got a lot of corporate clients, but I like doing the small business stuff. It really floats my thing. Now, as a marketing mentor, I do a lot of sales and marketing work, teaching anything from personal selling to blogging to LinkedIn to Facebook, physical products. It's a massive area, and to me, where blogging fits into that whole spectrum. Fascinating area of marketing, because it's one of those techniques that I think is often talked about, but not many people do it that well, okay? And the people that do it well tend to do quite well out of it, such as blogging has been instrumental in my own business. Like all my webinars, my goal is to deliver content, facts, and reality, give you the lot without holding anything back. And I'm available. If you need to send me an email or whatever the case may be, please do it. I'm here to support you and totally help you kick butt. Like all things, I like hitting people with a tip trunk of information. If you feel confused, that's great. Don't worry about it. You don't have to take in everything I say. It's more just a matter of listening to this webinar and taking out the things that are relevant to you and that believe will help you. And of course, you can email me too. Now, like all things that I do, and I've just actually done a live webinar on this topic, which went really well. The thing, and I've got some great questions, the thing that when it comes down to blogging, to really, I think, do well out of blogging, it's good to take it back to where it all began. And I like to go back to the history of things. Now, where blogging actually started, blogging is an abbreviation for the term weblog. So in the old days of the internet, nerds, probably people like me, would do actual web logs. They'd actually do, logs about their experiences, about their life on the internet. And what would actually happen is that early nerds like me would put their stories, talk about university, talk about their girlfriends dumping them. And these weblogs became blogs. They actually became a term in their own right. Now, as everything sort of proceeded and all happened, people then started realizing, I can write articles about products, be it my products or selling other people's products and getting a cut for it, and I can make money out of these products. This is really cool. So what happened was that as the internet sort of took form, blogging then went from sort of personal nerds like me just talking about their ideas to actually, offering commercial products and having some really cool offerings. Okay. Now, an interesting, blogging always comes and goes out of the spotlight. It's here one moment, it's gone the next, right? Blogging has, its popularity sort of rises and wanes. And what's very interesting is that if you look at social media today, as I do this, it's March 2015 as I do this webinar recording. Anyone can post on Facebook these days, and the challenge on Facebook in social media in general, it's just saturated. There's stuff everywhere all over Facebook and LinkedIn these days, and standing out as an expert is becoming is harder and harder. Now, here the reality is blogging, if you're giving away good quality material, help and insights all the time, it's a great way of actually really helping one stand out and building your reputation. Now, some of the top internet stars, and I like to think I'm becoming one of them, have actually built themselves through the power of blogging. So there's a very, very good technique in that regard. Now, this is one of my old colleagues, friends, Stefan Thomas from For Networking United Kingdom. And he actually writes book, and he is a blogger, and he's very, very popular and well-known in the United Kingdom. And to me, blogging is a form of journaling. The best sort of blogging, even technical blogging, or be it personal blogging or business blogging, or whatever the case might be, is quite often a form of journaling. And where it's very, very good, it's very good for, I think, two areas. One is it's very good for consultants. If you're a consultant in a certain area, you want to build your expertise, blogging is a very, very, very good strategy. Alternatively as well, if let's say, you're not let's say you've got a physical product, or you're an engineer or a product engineer or something like that, you can talk about different products and applications in more information. And in that context, it can work incredibly well too, okay? Now, to me, blogging, and I'll just go back here. Blogging is powerful. For my own business, my blog is followed by thousands of people. It's got quite a bit of a cult following happening. The way people work, so I might, and this is just being straight up with you, I might, let's say, meet someone in the real world and connect with them on Facebook or LinkedIn or something like that, right? And that's all great. And what happens is, it's actually my blog that they read and they get into and they follow me over time. And let's say someone reads my blog for 3 or 6 months, I might turn around and say, Edward, I want to become a client of yours. This is really cool. I really love the insights and information that you give me, okay? So from that point of view, it works incredibly well. The other thing is as well, people might just come across my blog. They might start reading it, following my blog over a period of time. One day I get an email from them saying, Edward, I love your blog. Can you help me? Or they just buy my online product, which happens a lot too. So several ways around that. The other side of it as well is blogging also has, now blogging, of course, just talking, directly. In terms of direct sales, blogging's been freaking outstanding. I'm the first to say that. So from a return on investment point of view, blogging's been great. But it also has other benefits too. This is a photo of myself and Moira Cameron, who's the first female beefeater. And I was actually lucky to consult her and give her marketing advice during one of my business trips to the United Kingdom. What actually happened was the actual woman who introduced me to Moira Cameron, she'd been following my blog for a long time. So before I even met her in the UK, she knew exactly who I was and she'd been following my blog. So I was already an expert before I actually met her, and that gave her confidence in me referring her to a celebrity character. This is in the Tower of London, a beautiful place. I even actually went into her apartment and sat there and talked marketing with her. So very, very powerful. Marketing has helped me obviously get, I must have made at least over 70 grand in blogging now, right? In terms of just results from blogging, it's been great for me, right? In terms of what it's done. Beyond direct sales, it's been very good in helping one get speaking slots and building your reputation and getting noticed by certain people. And also as well, it's very, very good for personal development as well. So directly, I've made lots of money out of it in terms of people just following my blog directly, but indirectly, it's been amazing for me at this point in time. The market psychology of blogging. Now, here's a photo of my cat. We know cats do very well on the internet, especially Facebook. And to me, what the actual market psychology of blogging is, if you go back to, let's say, the pre-internet, in the day where people would, let's say, buy newspapers every day, there might be a certain journalist or person that you follow and really, really get into, okay? So quite often, people would buy a newspaper every day. There'd be a certain journalist they look into, a certain columnist, and you might have fallen in love with their style, their ideas. You've agreed with them. They were telling you things you didn't know. They're giving you new additional insights and that sort of thing. Regardless or irregardless, whether that's a word, as you read this information more often, it becomes more powerful and you can develop an affinity with those people, which is very, very good for a range of reasons. And as I was saying as well, in terms of the commercial outcomes of blogging, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to, probably in a moment, we'll actually just do a walkthrough on my computer. It'll be easier than me just boring you with PowerPoint. And of course, you can download these PowerPoint slides. When you do, let's say, a blog article, unless you delete it, if you put it on someone else's blog, you can't, but assuming your own blog, it's in cyberspace forever. It's sitting there on the internet permanently advertising for you. So the reality is that whether your blog gets read once or a million times, it really doesn't make a lot of difference. It requires no extra work from yourself, and it's a very highly leveraged tool that's called Evergreen. Evergreen in terms of it's persistent and it's there forever. And here's the thing, with relevant and intelligent content, you can build trust for the audience, offer them great technology. It could be a book, an online product, a consultation, whatever the case may be. Your article is there for the long haul and it really helps people. Now, in fact, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go to walkthrough mode, right? Because again, you can feel free to download this presentation. So there are heaps of different blogs. There's dog food, holidays, wealth building, forex trading, Christians finding love to my blog. So let's just go to Google, right? I hope you can see it all right. I'm logged into a lot of things. So let's just go to Google. I'm just going to type in dog food blogs. I've never done this before, but I'm sure there's lots. Yeah, there are a lot of blogs on dog food. There's Dog Food Dude at Blogspot. So there you go. There is a blog on dog food, okay? So there are blogs for everything. I want to do Christians Finding Love blog. I hope it doesn't go to a porn site. There we go. Is Christian teaching stopping you? There we go. There's blogs on Christians finding love, which pretty much describes where I'm at right now. Okay, so there you go. We'll go to my blog, for example. This is my website here. I'll just hit the blog button. My blog's website's Excellence Above. You can see all the different blogs and that I have here that I've written. So the point is that you have blogs on everything. blogs on absolutely everything, heaps of different items and that sort of thing. Technical blogs is a very important area as well, is what I was trying to say. So you might actually do blogs on a given product with key tips and insights about actual product features and benefits. There's heaps of different things that you can do when it comes to blogging, okay? Heaps of different sort of options. One of my good friends from the United Kingdom, hopefully his site is working and was there before, his name's Jarrett Davis. He is a high-end Forex trader, right? And, you know, if you read... There he is. This is Jarrett Davis's blog. If you go to his blog, he often gives a lot of information, you know, about what the trades are doing, what's happening in the market, that type of thing, okay? So his is very, very technical, okay? So you've got heaps of different styles. There's probably thousands of different ways of doing it, and I have my own preferred style, which what I find generally works for me. So really going back to the PowerPoint. To me, what a great blog is a great article stash of cool information. So, you know, to me, when I go to someone's blog, ultimately a blog, everyone has their own form of expertise. I'm a marketer, business mentor sort of character. You might be a consultant yourself. You might have a product that you're writing about. You might be like my friend Jarrett. You might be, let's say, a trader. This is my friend Gillian here, who's a LinkedIn expert. Whatever the case may be, a great blog is a stash of different articles that has different expertise, different ideas, and all that type of thing. And to me, I'll just pop back to my blog for the moment. You know, to me, I've followed this philosophy there. You know, I blog a lot. Now, just so you know, I do blog every day, which is quite extreme. You don't have to blog every day. I'm a man on a mission. If you, let's say, want to be a really hardcore online entrepreneur, blogging every day is a good strategy. But generally for a lot of people, I would actually suggest less than that. I think blogging once a week works very well for a lot of people, okay? So generally that frequency works quite well in that regard, okay? The hard bit is always writing. So once you've set up your blog, that's generally not too much of a problem. But actually writing the content can be a bit of an issue. Now, the reality is that if you go back to my blogs from a year or two ago, the blogs were very, very rough, but now my blogs are a lot more sophisticated and eloquent, and it makes a lot more sense. So I'm a lot more proud of the stuff that I'm putting out there these days. So the trick is that you just want to start out. Your first blogs at the start won't be big. So I already sort of played around my own website a little bit. I often write blogs on a range of different sort of topics. So, for example, I'll just go back to my latest blogs. Just click there. I run a range of topics. So this blog here, for example, this blog is a very lovely female fitness trainer that I met, and it was her inspiring me. She just moved to Sydney on her own about 5 weeks ago from the time writing this article to start a new life, and I found her a very inspirational sort of woman, and I just wrote about her. And it was more just a piece on my inspiration. It was more of a motivational sort of piece. So in my case, I'm a marketing mentor. I equally write motivational pieces as much as I write, pieces on business. This one here's my friend Gillian Bullock, who's a LinkedIn expert. This article is actually a guest blog from Gillian right there. And it actually has key tips on how to use LinkedIn, how to do a certain search in there. Okay. I'll go down a little bit. This is an article I wrote, very, very popular article. It did quite well. 7 tips for working out your edge and why people should buy from you. I use an image from the Fallout. Now I get asked this question a lot. Can I use images off Google on my blog? Well, you actually can, as long as you reference them. So this is from a video game series called Fallout. It is Vault Boy, and you can see that I've referenced it in the comments there. So what I've done here in this case, I've written a blog, very much a marketing strategy blog. 7 tips for working out your edge and why people should buy from you. And I've just actually given here examples of good taglines: Surface Pro 3, Avis, Nike, Audi. And down the bottom, 7 key reasons what am I trying to say? 7 tips solving people's problems. So a good blog helps solve people's problems. It gives them key insights to help them become smarter and that sort of thing. Okay, so it works very well. Missed that bit. Now, in terms of the proof of blogging, I can tell you now. In a way, I probably don't need to improve blogging. Blogging has been a technique that has been around since the start of the internet, very well established and very well proven. Now, I get lots of clients from that, and obviously, it's hard for me to sit there and show you my sales figures and say these clients came from blogging because it's hard to prove that. But what I can prove, I'll show you some numbers to prove it. I'm in Facebook now, as I'm sort of scrolling through. I've just clicked on, this is my Facebook page. You can see my analytics, okay? So you may not be able to see it depending on what size your monitor is, but I'll just scroll down a little bit. This is that article that I wrote about that cool woman, Elise. This blog, it's doing really well. It's been seen over 2,600 times on Facebook. It's been liked 26 times. It's got 3 comments and it's been shared once. Okay, I'm actually going to look at the results. I actually want to see, for example, how many times it's been. Well, no, for example, I'll go through a different way. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to the Facebook admin panel just to see how many times people have actually clicked it. It's been clicked 27 times. So in a very short space of time, this only came out yesterday, it's been clicked 27 times just through Facebook alone. That's pretty cool. So I've written one article that in a day has been clicked 27 times and read 27 times. So that's pretty good. Now, that's just one day. Imagine this blog over, the months and years. It'll get, viewed hundreds of times, right? That's very, very good. I've had some blogs that get viewed over 100 times or whatever. So you might be thinking, okay, Edward, that's great. You've had 27 people read your blog. So what? Well, just for writing one blog, I've had 27 people in just one day engage with my content and get to know me more. Now, selling or marketing is quite often what we say is meet, like, know, and trust. It's about people getting to understand what we do. Oh, that's my friend Haley. May as well like a comment while I'm there. It's about people getting to understand what we do and really connecting and resonating with us over time. That is simply how it kind of works. So in terms of that, my engagement has been very good. And you can prove it to yourself. Like, feel free to just to scroll down my Facebook page. You can see some of the cool likes and engagement that I get. Now, if you write good content, if you engage with good content, that will actually help turn into sales, which is really what it is all about, which is quite good. Now, here's 7x tips for writing a great article, and this is what I'll run through. You want to make sure the article is natural and it's very you, it's authentic. You don't want to just sound like a technical person rambling on. Work out the objectives and style of your blogging. You've got technical blogging, diary blogging, review blogging, heaps of different techniques and ways of doing it. Use a very interesting, sexy header. You want to make sure that your headline is very enticing. Tell a story if you can. People love hearing stories. And what I actually suggest to a lot of clients, what I do myself, is that one of my clients, Cole Albright's a work health and safety inspector, a consultant. He can actually, let's say, you can only say so much about rules and regulations, but he went on a cruise recently. He could actually talk about an experience on his cruise where he noticed that the work health and safety was just awful, and he can actually use that as an example to make his point, okay? So it's good to tell a story from your own life and link to it. Again, that's not for everyone. If you're doing, let's say, technical blogging or talking about products, you might have to keep it a bit more serious and just more factual about the product. But for most people, especially consultants, usually your own story tends to work quite well. It's good to reference your product at the end. You want to give very powerful content. This is what it comes down to. You want to, everyone has problems. Your clients have problems, and you want your blog to solve their problems and make it all good for them, okay? So you want to wrap up with a tight conclusion, even have a section about the author. That works incredibly well. So what it is, this is in the presentation. I just took a few screenshots, but I'll just do a walkthrough instead. This is that article. You can see here, I've written a very, very sexy sort of heading here. 7x tips for working out your edge and why people should buy from you. I actually tell a story about these 2 awesome female entrepreneurs I met that day and how they inspired me. And because they asked me about their edge, Edward, how do I stand out in business and what do I do? I gave 7x tips and I made it as compelling as I could. So it went very well for me in that regard. So I was very impressed with how it played out. I even got some comments for that one as well. Okay, so that worked very well in that regard. Just go down here because I'm just doing a walkthrough. This is my friend Martha, actually. I'll just go full screen here. This is my friend and colleague Martha, who are actually running a workshop soon. In her case, she is a website expert, and she's actually written an article on time management. You might think, that's just silly. She is a website expert. Why in the hell would she write an article on time management? It's got nothing to do with websites. Here's the reality. Regardless of what you do, you just cannot write about your specialty all the time. It will be boring as hell. So what I encourage you to do is you actually mix it up with heaps of different ideas to make it as interesting as possible. So for example, Carl, as a work health and safety inspector, he can talk about things that he saw confidentially as clients. He can talk about the importance of protecting workers. He can talk about safety breaches in his own life. And if you're writing, let's say, an article, if you're blogging every day, it can be more of a challenge, which is what I do. But you might be blogging just once a week, so it's not too bad in that scenario. Okay, this is Jared Davis. He's mentioned before, he's a high-end currency trader. His is very technical writing, so he's not sitting here telling a story about how cool he is. He's more just talking about what the markets are doing and whether the currencies are bullish or bearish or whatever the case might be. So he's been a lot more factual in his deliverance in that regard. So yeah, and there's some questions I really want to sort of provoke you with. Think about what you can blog about, how often you're going to blog, what's a topic you love, how can you sell, how can you engage people, what are the valuable insights from your profession that you can give to people, sell people. So here's the thing, if you're an accountant, it's great to give financial advice, so it solves people's problems, or you tell stories about how people can get more out of their business. If you're a marketing guy, just give marketing tips. If you're a website person, you might give website and online marketing insights. But again, it's not just on your profession. You want to give as many valuable insights as possible. Blogging in a way can be more about you as a person and building yourself in that regard. So you want to make it totally compelling and sexy as possible so you develop a massive following. And this is coming down to share it. Now, what a lot of people do, and I'm not a fan, it depends on the objectives, of course, but generally speaking, I'm no fan of this at all. People have blogs that are separate to their website. I'm not a fan of that because when you do a blog, the whole point of a blog is you have a blog on your website, it's sitting on your website, and it brings people to your website and they engage with your website. And so in other words, you have a blog on your website, people find a blog through Facebook, they go to your website, they're on your website, they might buy something or send you a lead, okay? So I prefer doing that. Now, sharing the content is very important. Now, I'll go back to my blog. If you stick a blog, so go to my blog here, right? If you put a blog online, it's popular, it's great, and Google will read it. So, for example, this blogger wrote about Elise, that's her there, rather attractive woman. What you have there, I'm single, so I can say that. So anyway, I have a blog written about her and how cool she is. I have all the different information that I've made there. But when you write blogs, let's say, I'm just putting blogs on my website. I do small business marketing. I didn't do it in that case, but let's say, I want to be found for the Google keyword searches of small business marketing. It's good to put those words, let's say 2 to 5% throughout your blog, because Google actually scans this whole blog looking for certain keywords and then sort of ranks your site accordingly. So it's good to see the content with relevant keywords. So good little tip there. Now, when it comes to sharing, let's say I want to share the blog of myself and my friend Jillian, who's LinkedIn expert. I'm just going to copy the link. This is a link from my website. I just hit the copy key. Let's say I'm going to whack it into Facebook. I can just paste it in and I can just share stuff through Facebook, no problem, okay? And of course, LinkedIn's the same thing. I can just paste it straight into our LinkedIn and I can share stuff through there as well. So there's heaps of different ways that you can get your sort of content out there. So there you go. There you go, just shared that. Doesn't that look cool? So heaps of different ways that you can do it. Heaps of different compelling ways you can share content. I personally like LinkedIn and Facebook. You can also share it directly as well through email newsletters and the like. So that's how that side of it works. So yeah, blogging to me, putting blogs on your website brings more traffic to your website, but also Facebook, LinkedIn, and email marketing are great strategies and means too. So here are a few closing remarks I want to make. Work out and think through your objectives in terms of the blog in your business. You want to work out the frequency, sharing, and distribution. You also want to plan that, how often you're going to share it, when you're going to share it. You want to select your own style. Are you more of a technical writer? Are you going to talk about your own personal experiences and what happened to you? The 7X tips is a very good strategy too. So there's several different ways of writing. Ultimately, to me, the way I personally look at blogging, the information you put in blogging helps solve people's problems. So I like giving away tips, insights, telling stories, basically advice solving people's common problems that I deal with every day as a marketing mentor. You want to set up a calendar and always write to that and stick to the focus. The other thing, and point 5 is some of your early blogs will be complete shit, just being direct with you. Some of my early blogs are disgusting and awful, but we all start off there. Some of your first blogs might be a bit rough, but as you do more of it, you'll get better at it, and you'll sound better and better. You want to make it compelling, give content, and drive people to the sale in a light manner. So, that's one thing I didn't show you, and my bad. Let's just go back to my site. Oh, what's going on? I must be on drugs. No, I'm not. We'll go to this blog here, the main one. Okay. So in this one here, for example, 7X tips for working out your edge and why people should buy from you. So it's clear value. I tell the story. I give the 7X tips. Now at the end, what's very interesting is I have about the author. Now mine's obviously quite hammy and done in a very entrepreneurial fun style. You might do this in a more technical management style. But it's got about me as a marketing mentor and a blogger, lover of Australian small businesses, being a leading authority and all that sort of thing. And what it does is that you can have information about you, and I can also link it to my online product. So people let's say, read my article and think this guy's pretty cool. They see the edge, then they might say, okay, cool. It might be an email to contact you so they can book in a session. They can maybe buy your online product. In my case, they click there and it goes to my page, which is my online product, which just happens to be our website, and they can, just buy it here or whatever the case may be. Okay, so you've got plenty of different options there. And you want to make it as light and as fun as possible. So now what I encourage you to do is study some blogs and just work out, get started. You might have to speak to your web person to get your blog set up. You might do a third party, which I don't agree with, but it doesn't suit most people, but you might set up a separate blog. But whatever the case may be, you have a blog, and preferably I think the blog should be in your own website. You can also blog directly in a LinkedIn. That suits a lot of people as well. It's been very popular lately. So anyway, you've started blogging. Please start blogging, work out a frequency. You might just do once a fortnight, start once a week, whatever the case may be. And thank you. I trust this webinar has been of value to you. I hope I've given you some tips and insights. Now, what you can do is, if you're interested, if you need a hand or anything, just send me an email at edward@excellenceabove.com.au. I'd really, really like to help you. And feel free to browse the rest of my online course, which you're probably in now. This is Edward Zier signing out. Love your work. Thank you for paying such great attention. You people are wonderful. Have a great day or night, everyone, and I'll speak to you all soon. This is Edward Zier signing out.